Hello, good morning. So for today we will keep continues our more like focus on the lab. So um before we did the static analysis and then try to look at like for the some subspecies content. And before we ask you to install the Windows, and then we try to run the system, right? And then install the VM. And another one is based on the Linux system. And if some of you if you're running on the Windows, so here's the link like on the Linux system, but unluckily this one is only available on the Intel um or the AMD like CPU. So if you are running on your own Windows or like Mac or Intel, so you are okay to install it. So you can follow the instruction. It's the same once you download it and install it, you can like log in from the user. Then why we need this one? We will rely on some application for testing. But if you are using the Apple Silicon CPU, the M1 to M4 right now, then we need to install everything we need. So what you can doing kind of similar, but you need to install it by ourselves. It's like, okay, download the Ubuntu image. Love it. So for your purpose, maybe you can download the called the desktop version, so you can see the GUI, the like control, and it's the same method. But for this one, I just like set up the host, and because when we doing our lab, because we try to set it as a host only, right? So you figure out when the system no matter the Windows or even the Ubuntu, when we change the network architecture to host only, you will lose your network connection. Okay. Then once you lost your network connection, then how can we for coming we will simulate, and what we're going to do, we execute the lab static is called unknown exe. So okay, let me open it, show you. If you're confusing when you're watching what I'm doing, so we need to run both of them image, the VM image in the same time. And one of the application we are using called the iMachine. So we are running on the Ubuntu VM image, and then that one we are hosting connect to it. Later in the lab, I will show you how can you configure it, like being connected to each other. And just need to show you the lab we're going to use. We will start with our called the malware unknown exe. So this one will be from the lab by IDES2. And let me unzip it and put it to our desktop. Remember, turn off your antivirus. So let me double check. Right now it didn't block it, so it should be okay. And then setting, okay. So I need to turn off the real-time protection. Always, because my real-time protection always they turn on. So better practice. So we try to do it. And what do we need to do? So why not you see my if you look at my screen and network data, I'm host only, and I try to why not if I try to access to the web, it should be like empty, or I am not able to find anything. Maybe let's say I try to search Google and you will see the page is empty. Okay, so you see, okay, it shows fail, right? Okay, and right now when I'm running on my Ubuntu image and then I install it. So if you are the Windows user, then you don't have any problem. So you can install it. So you can download this image and then later we can use the NSSIM, and also you can install the Wireshark to capture the access. Because the example right here, the malware. So one of the behavior. Let me go back to our. Oh, I think my antivirus put the files. Okay, so after we change it and execute it, so without the internet connection, so you will see after execute, so you will see our screen like just a blank power something and close. Because for this malware, it will try to check the network connection. Once you detect, okay, if you have no network connection, then it will perform execute is like delete the file itself. Okay, so that's why you didn't observe anything. But once you have the internet connection, then it will try to access to a domain. Okay, try to like download the favicon. Okay, so you see the favicon is a small logo right here on the website. Okay, so but once it's able to access the favicon, then it will going to refresh all the content from that website. But because for us like doing the malware analysis, we are not actually allowed the malware like to connect to the domain and then download all the content. So we need to simulate. That means that we need to let it exist. For our analysis, we need to like maintain a like isolated network. Okay, so that's why we need to create called the NSSIM. But I would like to demonstrate how it looks like. Then I will show you how to say it. Okay, so on your Ubuntu, if you are Windows or so, after you create image, then maybe you have a desktop version. So you will see the web page, and then you can turn on your the terminal. Okay, so if you are the Mac user, then you can follow the link, and it's right here. So you can like change to your root user, change to SU and then echo. And I can post this one in your chat box in case. Okay, if you see the dollar sign, you just like copy the command line. So you maybe let me remove it. Okay. For this one, actually we try to add the iNetSIM, this one to the our source list. Okay, and after you see source list, add it to the system. So after we refresh it to the apt, then we can install the iNetSIM. So because since I already installed it, the next step after you install the iNetSIM, then you can of course if you download the if you are the maybe the Intel or AMD CPU okay user, then you should be fine after you install it and log in. Then you can use the GUI. Okay, but of course you can use the terminal edit the file. So right here I will demonstrate. I'm using nano. So the file directory is under the ETX iNetSIM, and this folder, the configuration files called the iNetSIM. Okay, turn on the checkbox. Okay. So here you need to enable pretty straightforward. Of course, you can change the adapter or like workstation or VirtualBox. You can change the adapter, change it to like DNS. The most straightforward you need to modify would be right here. One is called the service by address. So you need to get the address. Then I will show you which address, like how can you find. So you can either, if you have a GUI, you can check the network connection and then check your IP address aside it, or you can use command line called the IP address. Then you can able to find it. Okay. So I changed the service by address. So if you after you install it, you only what you see is a service by address like 10.10.10.1 looks like this. So you need to either you can create a new one or just uncomment it and change it to another one. Okay. And the second, we will scroll down, go down, you will see a DNS default IP address. Okay. And you need to change it. And so far, this will be the at least two, and others it will show okay, if you connect successfully, then you will see that like it's simulate from the ISIMnet. So here will be the content like TML content. So will be right here, and for the port or other information, we are not required to change it. So as a basic, keep it as a basic, it will be fine. And then for other information, so we don't have to touch it. So it will be the basic, okay. And you will see more like SMTP surface. So it's all for the simulation. In case for other, we need to examine, then we can allow it, okay. But in this moment, you can just like enable the first two. And then once you copy it, you can save it and exit. Because I didn't change anything, you're all good. And how can I check my IP address? You right here, you will see here the iNet, I got the IP address. So this one you see, one is the internal, it's called the local host. So as you know, if you learn like networking, so you will know 127.0.0.1 is also represented as a local host. Another IP address we receive is 192.168.84.129. Okay, so here's the address we are going to use. And in this moment, in the even the VM for the Ubuntu, you will see my network also is the host only. Okay, so that means like I said, the two hosts only image, and then let them connect together. Okay, so they can communicate to each other and simulate. So let it pretend it does have a DNS server and goes out. Okay, of course, it cannot really reach to the real source. Okay, but in this moment, it's like good enough. And what we need to do just like execute iNetSim, and you will see it will pop out session ID and then showing the all the connections except the suppose like if you are running on your if you're the image like or a plain image, you should see like all the PID individually. But why my HTTP 8 failed? Because I will have the Nginx port. Okay, so that's why my port 80 is like it failed. So if I go to SS, okay. So when you remember the address, then let me move it to right here. So you need to go to your network internet setting. So you can go to your IPv4 or right here. So you will see I will like give myself an IP address. It's just like under same kind of same subnet mask. So I put it at 25 255 255 255, and then the address will be same, will be 192.168.84. But you can put this one to like any number except one. So you can like I just like put one is like because my Ubuntu IP address is 129, then I give this one is 128. And one more thing you need to modify. So we need to go to our property. So you can like if since we're using a Windows like 21, so you can modify using change the menu, and then I can change my preference like DNS to 128. then it will be okay. And also one more location we can edit. So let me go to advanced. So let's see here. Okay, advanced network more at that option. And then there's like IPv4. And then we go to property, and right here I also you can change in here, so you will see using the foreign IP address. So we make sure that under same subnet, and then change our DNS server to our Ubuntu IP address. So you see 84.129. Okay, so after you save it, okay. So you see right now you still without any internet connection, but if you try to access, because my port 80 is not working, so if I access to the domain through the 80, it will show up is the nginx, because my nginx occupy the location. So if I type on 192.186.84.129, so this one will be port 80. So when I try to access it, so it will connect to my Ubuntu nginx. But if you connect it to the using HTTPS, because I use it for testing, so it would be HTTPS with port 443 should be working right now. So you see it right now should be connected. So if you receive the content right here, default HTML page for the iNetSIM HTTP, that means your connection is successfully. Okay, so when I connect successfully, then you're good, all good. Okay, and after this, of course, like before testing, let's see, because when I doing testing, I realized that my storage for my VM is not enough, so it will cause like some issue. So but I have to wait after I try to, if I can take a snapshot right here in this moment. Because remember once you start this part, because we will trace back, we need to use a snapshot save before. So remember, like change your internet connection and take a snapshot. Okay, because we need to always roll back after we change your connection. Okay, this time let me start my iNetSIM in this moment. Okay, and then let me go back and restart the. Okay, so right now you see I lost my connection, and you're all good in this moment. And that what I'm going to do is change the file to exe. Okay, so this time, so I'm going to show you, okay, how it's going to be looks like. Okay, okay, and luckily the real-time protection I should off. Okay, so it's pretty slow. Let me detect it. Okay, dismiss. Okay, so once you execute, you will like perform something, but you maybe like don't know. So and another one more application we need to use, like after we execute, actually we don't know what it happened, right? So how can we observe like as a dynamic analysis? One thing is the Wireshark. So one Wireshark will be installed on your Linux system. So I would recommend to use the desktop version, and then also you can install a Wireshark on your because like you need to check your tooth. Suppose that Wireshark will be installed on your Windows system, the fair VM, and also another one called Postmon. Okay, so maybe if you couldn't find it, then you can install it by yourself. So here's that will be the link. So you can download. It's called the Postmon. So it's under the it's provided from the Microsoft system, so you can download it and install it. So I will post it also. Let me post it in the chat box. So if you need to check, but you need to install it on your VM. Okay. So after you install it, let me show you. Because I already execute. So let me snapshot, restore snapshot. Don't save. Okay. Okay. So right now I try to restore back before I execute it. And then then you maybe ask a question. Okay. Then how can I download it? So remember, so you need to have a snapshot which in a safe environment, and then you can switch it back. So go to your app data, let it go back to online, so you can change back to NAT. Okay, so once you switch back to NAT, then you're able to like open your browser and then go to the system called the system internal, this one under Microsoft, and then you can download it. Okay, so since I already downloaded it, then I can show you the picture like this. So you call a process monitor. Okay, so it's pretty like powerful. If you see the like the CD so that one is also you see I will give you some suggestion like okay, there are some software application we can use to observe. And this time we will like start with the program. So after you unzip it, so it's pretty similar to the string. If you remember, we also download the string. And then I would just like open it and right here, okay. This one is a process manager, and then we can observe. Okay, so for this time, after we are ready, and let me just like guarantee, okay, I will stay on this image and make sure my connection state is the host only, and okay, I need to maintain my connection. Let me start. Okay, let me start my connection and make sure my wireless connection. The wireless, they are all off. Okay. And since we need to like observe like what did it do, and then what the performance, and this time is like one we always will going to use after you install it. So it's called a filter. Okay, so in the filters, then we can like try to search for certain content. This time, if we want to search for the process the process name, so the process name we can be like is exactly or like contains. Okay, so and for this one, maybe we can copy the name on the files. Yeah, we're right here is the image that contains this. We can edit, so we can apply. Okay. Right now it's empty, and then we can try to execute one more time and see. Change it, and we can execute one more time. Okay. And in this moment, okay, then what were we going to do? Okay. You see, because since we have a connection, and you if you're able to find the content right here, so it's the process it contains is malware unknown, right? So successful. And also we were trying to looking for some certain things like what this malware do, or like maybe it will create some files. So we can like looking for the process what you did, or like maybe we're interested what it did before, maybe it may create some files, right? So maybe I'm looking for something, maybe like create files, maybe looking for some directory. So right now it will be work on some um, our Windows registry files, and then maybe try to create the file mapping while mapping desktop right here. So it's the same. And then the DLL file, let's go to like maybe it will touch on our kernel 32. So kernel 32 is like the base, the base, the connection between our like the lower level, like the hardware, and then with the low level language. So it will try to like touch something on this. And then let's see if we have if they create some files, software, open, and more like files, coherent system 32. And for this file, actually, if we try to search using our string, okay, or actually there's one more for the force. So it's another application after you install the VM. So it can like show the content. And for the subspecies, I have notes right here, and maybe we are trying looking for like some certain content, like the string from the example. There are a few things. Okay, so in this one is the first one. So it will testing the network connection. So if you able to ping the internet, then it will like perform certain action. But if no, it will delete itself. Okay, so getting the directory, and we are looking for, okay, so for the path, maybe we're looking for the path is the public documents, and it try to create a exe file. Okay, so like under this, then maybe we'll try to create a file. So let's search if we can find the create any file under the this directory. And so we can like search more, and then Windows and read files. Right here still is the read files kernel. So pretty a lot. And let's like quickly jump to the our directory. Let's see. Okay, so right here, let me move the our screen. Okay, so what where do we need to check? Because like for this, well, right now I didn't turn on the Wireshark. Right, for the Wireshark, you will see um once we try to filter like this like process, then we'll know, okay, so it try to access to this URL, okay, and then try to download their favorite con. Okay, so when they try to download favorite con, and then you will see under a puppet. So let's go to our C drive. Okay, user, and then we have the public directory, and then document, and let's see, or under our account. Or maybe because the malware it blocked the create the file. Okay, so maybe it's not exist. So let me check one more time. Suppose it should be off right now and stop the scanning. Okay, because I need to allow it. Okay. Current scan option. Let's try one more time. It's completed, and then like this. And this like called the postmon, so we can actually filter, and then later actually we have more like content. Maybe sometime we will looking for if maybe for details we can add more like the details, like maybe contains or if we are checking for the maybe the exe file or the data files. So we can like change it. Okay. And I need to like fix it because I can see it, but for this time the my antivirus that keep blocking it. Okay. And here's the process monitor. So it can help us to monitor and check the behavior of this malware. And Bill, I'm not yet open the Wireshark, so at least like to letting you're able to follow the steps, and you can let me restore my image. So I'm not going to save this one. Okay, just remember don't click it by mistake. If yes, remember install the remove the one after you. Okay, and there's what we need to do for this lab. Okay, so far as a first step for the static analysis, we will retrieve able to like get some hints. Okay, sometimes like maybe some samples like the URL or like some how can we access. Okay, so what kind of performance they're going to do. Okay, so based on these hints, so in the dynamic analysis, we need to create like what we call the sandbox, the isolated environment to execute the malware file. Okay, and after we execute, so we will using different application like tools to observe the performance and looking for the potential data. So it's going to like perform. Okay. In this moment, we just like showing. Okay, once we have the connection, and then try to really open it. And for this one, it's just the malware under the basic. So 1-2. So you see called the unknown. So we still have no idea. And but for actually, okay, after we observe like for the detail, so but I slightly jump to a conclusion like to this one. And unknown what it's doing is try to like check your network and then connect to the source like URL, and then to check their favorite account. If okay, then we'll download the file. They try to create the exe file. You see that it presents a data file, and then it's a exe. So this exe like properly, okay. Sometimes we can make some hypothesis. So we say, okay, this exe maybe create a download and then try to download more files or install the application on your computer. Okay. And after you install it, then it can like take another action. But in this moment, because we have stopped the connection, so you know it's an isolated environment. So this exe file cannot download any content. So still okay, but we can like observe from this. Of course, from the process monitor, we can try to figure out more content, and then we can open the browser, and then it's more like match, like where's the connection. Right now will be I will giving you some time to like set up the environment. Usually we have one more, it's the Linux system, and then create a connection, and then you need to download is the called the process monitor, and then check the content. So at least like if you can follow till this step, then you're okay. And later in our next class, then we will keep on going to like doing the dynamic analysis. Okay, and later I'll show you how can we make the screenshot, like how can we save all the record, and then what kind of content we are going to search. Okay, and it should be look like this. Just like slightly the image, like if you open the Wireshark and then you try to access the URL to get the favicon, and from the Postmon, then we are able like to check it, and just like putting your name filter right here, and after we execute. Okay, and of course, like if we want to like looking for a certain operation, like say the files, so we can search, so you can say contains, so it's the same. Close it. Okay, let me open the process monitor one more time. So right here, okay. So we try to, when we're looking for the process name, also we can search if there are some you see if certain application, if we are interested, if where they create the file. So instead of search them one by one, so we have the operation, so you can choose operation and contains. Okay, so if we're searching for like touching on some file, you can put like edit, so like this, then you can like hit okay, then this is how it looks like. And right now will be your time to do it, and I will try to help you to like answer your question if you have any difficulty. Okay, and I will show you. Okay, so I know if the student, if you are like still struggling to set up even the Windows or like maybe all these like necessary things, because I did try to slow down a little bit, but for the progress I have to move on to for dynamic. So for really you need this extra help, extra time. So we can set up the because I have the office hour, so you feel free, so we can arrange the office hour time, or like even on Monday or Wednesday, not in the class, it's still okay. So it can help you. You can like share what your progress right now or the issue you facing. Then I can try to help you to solve it. Okay, and so far will be for our dynamic analysis, like for our progress, because I know for the setup, it may consume you some time. Okay, if you're listening, if you're following, then please let me know. Okay, and I will like to see. Okay, so right now will be your time. So I will freeze my, okay, so I will keep my screen right here. So I will give you time. So if you're working on it, then you can stay, okay, to work on it. If you want to do it later, you're feel free to do it later. And please let me know if you have any question. Okay. If no, then I will mute my speaker so you can work on yours and let me know. Mute my speaker. Okay. Need my microphone. So right now it's okay. Hello, I'm checking if you're the students right now right here. So are you working on it, or do you have any problem, difficulty to set up all these things? It seems like several things we try to like work on. Like first, we need to create a new image. Okay, so before if you did install for the Windows this one, then you are all good. If no, then it maybe takes some time because when you install it and then create the image. Okay, so if we are using the VM, then you should use the download the general OVA. Okay, and just like you just need to like import it. Let's say if you're working on the Fusion is on our Mac, and then for the workstation maybe for Windows. So like you just then need to import it and just like make sure you give like enough storage and then assign the enough like RAM. Okay. Then after you install all of them, then you because this one it comes with the iNetSim. If no, then also we need to like, install it by yourself. And let me go back. Okay. So it's the same. So you maybe also need to use the terminal, open the terminal. So I can recommend you if you want to observe something, so you may use the desktop version. Okay. So that's like for the Intel and then the AMD user. Okay. So if you are using the Apple silicon, that means that from M1 to M4, then unluckily, then we need to install by ourselves. So you can download the Ubuntu image and then install it. Okay. And after this, what we need to do is install the Ubuntu, install iNetSim. Okay. Online there have several guidelines. So you can follow the guideline right here. So I can show you right here. Install and then install. Okay. So post it as a reference. So let me post it in our chat. Okay, so this one. So this one only for the Apple Silicon user. So if you don't have it, then we have to install the our Ubuntu by ourselves. Okay, we need to download the one for the ARM version. Okay, just like be careful. We need to download it for the our ARM version instead of the Intel or AMD. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Okay, and after you install it, then remember go to edit the path. So let me post the path right here. So you should already giving the image to nano etc and the inet sim, and we will edit the inet sim configure file. So right here, let me terminate. So right here will be the inet sim configure file. Okay. So for this one, no matter you are the Windows-based user or the Apple Silicon, so it will be the same. After install it, we need to modify the configuration file. So we mainly need to change what is the service by address and then the DNS. Okay, so if you go down, will be another one will be the DNS. So DNS default IP. So you need to change this content, and after you modify it, you can like exit and try to run the iNetSim. So if you get the list of message, that means you're all good. Okay. And then next you need to go back to your Windows system and change it, your Windows setting. Okay. So the network, so go to your network setting and connect it. So you can change your own IP address. You need to make sure like you are on the same subnet, right? Even though you are for the host only. So once you make your like two image working on the same subnet, then you are all good. Okay. So once you, if you try to search or open a browser, and then you will see it's simulated by the iNetSim. then you are all good. Okay, so that means your connection is safe. Okay, the reason why we need to doing this because like most of the malware, when you download those malware or install it, double click to execute the binary file, then it always try to fetch certain content like from online source. Okay, so that's one we need to try to observe is like once they have a connection, so what kind of performance. And for this one, when we try to unzip it, and let me close it. Okay, okay. Well, from the string output, mainly from the string output content. So there's some information that start from the after the exe execution, then it will try to really see the HTTP. Like in the our Tuesday lab, I try to show, okay, we are looking for the content. If there's a URL like HTTP, and then those URL looks weird, then probably they will try to download like some certain content. Okay, so that's what we need to be careful. And because how can we check that? This is what we need to do, like create a isolated fake connection. So otherwise, most of the malware they would detect. So in the lecture we talk about like sometimes they will know how to they will detect if this under VM or sandbox. So they are not going to like execute. Okay, it's possible so they can detect, but this one is pretty straightforward. But this one also it will try to check the network connection. So it knows that this environment like without any internet connection, so it will delete itself. So you see now delete. Okay, it will get its location and it delete. But if it has the internet connection, they will try to like access to this like favorite content. Like it looks like it pretend to get the content, but actually it will download a source file and then try to create a exe file to download. Okay, create like download more content like this. Okay, and that's like what we're going to observe. Like sometimes when we're doing all this, we'll be more like actually doing and hypothesis like assuming. Okay, so when we're doing so what kind of performance, and then another one you need to download is the process monitor. Okay, so we're going to like check the activities because like, after we execute without the process monitor, we don't know what this what does this malware like deep. Okay, so maybe access to certain content, create a file or access something. Okay, so that's all we need to do. And just remember one more time. So we when we're doing all this, remember to keep a um snapshot which is safe environment, and then because we have to like roll back, sometimes we have to like restore the snapshot and check it one more time. Okay, that's what we need to do. And I don't know how many of you are like working on it or like still installing it, and it may take some time. So um, I will stay mute right here, and then let's see if you have any question or something if you want to ask. Okay. If no, then no question, then I will wait until like few more minutes. Then I will stop the sharing. Okay. Then you can I don't want to like take your bandwidth and then when you're installing. Okay. Okay. So far in this moment, I do not hear any feedback from you, so I just assume you may be like working on it or busy on it. So so you can stay on work. Just let me know, like maybe waiting for next lab. Then I will check your progress, and then we will like based on this like what we have like from my lab, like we use for us basic static analysis, and then we'll check all the malware we're using, and then we'll move on for our advanced static and dynamic analysis. So as always say, for the advanced actually will be the our lecture cover like in a lower level the assembly language. So we see like from those that has the stack like work on the memories. Okay. If I didn't hear any feedback, then I will stop the sharing right here. So you can, if you are still trying to install and set like work on the settings, then you can try. Okay, so I will save. Hopefully this video will be available like after several one or maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. Then it will be available on Zoom, so you can check it. Okay, from D2L. And I see some student leaving, so we'll be like this. Okay, have a good one. Then I stop right here. Thank you.